Everybody, we're back again here on Sports Chat.
Everyone's always right for an upset in the first round because those teams that they're playing are conference champions.
Wants to throw for Rice.
If somebody can afford to pay me $120 million, how much money you think they got?
Good Saturday morning to you out there, folks. We're back here on Sports Chat. We got John. John, what's going on, fella? How's everything?
Good? What's good, man? You all right?
Good to see you. Good. It's doing well. Everything good in your neck of the woods?
Yeah, man. Yeah, we we recovered from that Michigan State loss, and so I'm proud wearing my Michigan colors.
Oh yeah, so you got the U of M back on today.
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, I hear you. I hear. Well, look, we're gonna discuss something near to our hearts today. I know you're always been a big LeBron James guy. I've always been a big Laker guy. Back in the Kareem day when Kareem punched Kent Benson in the face.
Ooh. Now you going way back with that.
Way back.
You showing your age.
then we lucked up and got Magic, and it's been good ever since. But anyhow, the Lakers have Luka on their team. What do you think about that, Mr. John? Give me your insight into this Luka Doncic on the Lakers with LeBron.
I haven't watched every game since he's been there. I did watch the game last night, and again, shooting night, but wound up with 31 points. LeBron, 28 points. And so I didn't think initially that the court would be big enough for both of them. But just the absolute intelligence that's on the basketball court, I'm still trying to get used to seeing it. You know what I'm saying? Seeing them I'm like, are they really teammates? Is this like, because you know what I'm saying?
Real?
It looks so surreal. But I do think that they've, for a trade that happened mid-season, and him kind of getting accustomed to them and acclimated to them on the fly. I don't know if that'll end up with a championship this year, but Bron and Luka with a full training camp, and if they can get some semblance of a big that can rim protect, and watch out.
Yeah.
Watch out.
I have to say I am pleasantly surprised.
You can't help but be. Yeah.
Here's the thing. Number one, to be honest with you, I knew Luka was good, right? But you never really saw Dallas a lot.
No.
And so I watch Luka more now in his first 10 games, 7, 8, 10 games. I already been with the Lakers than prior. Oh, we got a guest coming on. Hold on. We got special guests in the room today.
Special guest. Oh my goodness.
What's going on? He's back. He's back from Washington.
He's alive.
He's back to the sports side today. He done left Roland Martin and came back to us. What's going on, Ron? What's going on?
What's going on? It's difficult to bury your head in the sand with sports during such a turbulent time. I feel
unbelievably turbulent time.
I feel almost irresponsible.
We're discussing the Luka Doncic trade to the Lakers.
Yeah, right? He was talking about how irresponsible he feels talking about sports.
I'm pleasantly surprised with really how good Luka is, man. Wow. Yeah. I think Ron sent me a text. He said it's like having Larry Bird, in Magic. Only just LeBron, just more athletic. And I'm telling you, because LeBron has already defied age logic, right? What he's doing at 40. This right here gives him another 2 years at least.
Mm-hmm. I can agree with that. I just think that they're both great ball handlers, got great court vision. They'll get better as they play, more together. And Bron doesn't have to do so much all the time. I think JJ can approach it like Phil used to approach taking Michael out in the first couple of minutes of the fourth quarter, and then used to bring Michael back to, apply the knockout blow. I think he'll have more opportunity to do that now with LeBron, where he doesn't have to carry so much of the load, give him a few minutes rest,
right,
and then bring him in and knock the last team out, or the team out at the end. So he looks good so far.
And guys, think about it. Even on the Miami teams and stuff, when have you ever seen LeBron on the wing like that, on a break?
Yeah.
Right? Or cherry picking off the D, commit to steal, Luka pick up the ball, LeBron is down there, and then Luka with the two-hand out, West Unsell, chest pass all the way up to the is phenomenal.
Look, I've been a big critic of LeBron James, his tactics in terms of I guess organizational influence, which hasn't always made me happy as a Laker fan. I think the Lakers have positioned themselves to prepare for his departure at some point. I think he'll probably hang around now and kind of defer to Luka a bit. We'll see. That remains to be seen. But at least the organization has kind of taken some control back in terms of doing deals like this and putting themselves in position with a young player. Luka's talent allows him to step up more than any younger player in the league would have been able to do with LeBron. So, from that perspective, I'm happy. I'd like to see the Lakers get, I don't know where they're going to find it, but another defensive big man, so they can at least run two guys at Joker.
Yeah, that was pretty
Yeah.
good, wasn't it?
The way they defended him last week was effective, but Denver will also counter that with adjustments and stuff, because the playoffs are always about adjustments. But if they can just find one more guy to give them 6 fouls and be serviceable, maybe score.
Yeah,
they don't really got to score a point. They just got to be able to defend and rebound. That would help them. That's why I suggested, I know Dwight's 37, 38 years old, but at a very minimum, number one, he's still younger than LeBron. Number two, he can at least just put a body on Joker and give you 6 fouls and get some rebounds and potentially block the shot. Him or even JaVale McGee, they don't got to give you, 48 minutes. All you got to get is get a good 20 minutes out of them, maybe, but at least give you a foul. And that's why I said, hey, go sign James Wiseman. He's just sitting around young, not doing nothing at 23 years old. He's still only 23. He could still at least put a body on a guy, give you 6 fouls, maybe get a dunk or two. So why not? What do you really got to lose?
Look.
I want the Lakers to plug Armando Bacot out the G League, because he killing the G League.
No, but look, Boogie Cousins just became the league MVP over in the
Singapore or something.
Yeah, he was the league MVP.
Yeah,
so
we had Boogie too.
Well, we had Boogie while he was going through his rehab from his Achilles injury and stuff.
Yeah. We had him with the knee.
A guy, with the knee. A guy like Boogie, who can play and be serviceable, scores. They can't hurt themselves by signing a guy like that.
It's extremely low risk and high reward. It's
low risk. You're already out there with the Lynn and the Jameson guy. Come on.
And it'll only cost you the veterans minimum. It's not like you got to structure some deal.
Because what's the name is good in spurts. He needs to come off the bench. Jackson. He's holding his own, but he's not a full game star. He's spurts.
Well, I like what he does. he brings energy. He catches lives.
Yeah, energy. Yeah,
defending a little bit more this week. I just think that they're in a good position. They just have to be smart about how they add that one more or two pieces, and they'll be fine. They've been getting some contributions from some guys they signed off the bench, like that Jordan kid, and
Oh, that
some other,
Goodwin kid.
yeah, good one, yeah. So they have to, you know, be smart about it. You know what I mean? If anything they've done is they've made me interested in watching at least.
Yeah,
because I
me
was really
too.
I was turned off a bit early in the season, and it just felt like more of the same. So they've kind of piqued my interest. You know, they're playing pretty good
Yeah.
basketball right now. I just want to see if they're going to try to make a run at it, do something smart, like maybe go after ask Boogie to come and play, or get somebody else to solidify that front end. Because at the end of the day, man, you're going to have to defend Jamal Murray, who eats them for lunch, and you're going to have to be able to defend Joker at the end of it. You know that's what
Well,
where their shortcoming has been. So
they did a good job on Jamal too. Because he didn't get that fourth quarter craziness like he normally does on us.
Right. And one more thing. Let me shout out to the Pistons, man. Yo, to the Pistons fans out there, I know they lost last night. But listen,
I needed them to win last night. Come on.
I know, but listen, man. Every team has a cross to bear. I want to just take this back for a minute. When the Pistons were on their rise, they had to get over the Celtic hump. When the Bulls were on their rise, they had to get over the Piston hump. Like, it just takes a while, and so the Pistons are a young team and they're learning. You know what I mean? And taking losses like that will help them in the long run. You know what I mean? So they're playing better. They've brought the fans back out. They're winning games. They got exciting young players with Cade Cunningham and others. So they got to just continue on the path that they're on. Don't make any mistakes. Don't try to do anything drastic. Just let these guys develop, and you'll have a better organization in the long run. The city of Detroit is, their sports teams are on the rise. The Lions have come back. The Pistons are making waves. The Tigers have played good baseball with good, solid young players. All of them have to just continue on the path that they're on, and it all goes into that Detroit Renaissance, which that whole region is going through. So, if anything, shout out to the D and those,
shout out to the D
and those loyal. And I did all of that without even mentioning the Wolverines, which is amazing. So, yeah.
You ain't gotta mention them.
Yeah, Dusty May is. I'm telling you, watch out for Dusty May. This guy, 22-6, 13 conference wins, the most conference wins of any first year coach. Just doing it's looking good around here. Even the Red Wings have gotten themselves back into playoff contention.
Well, big game for the Red Wings tonight.
Yeah,
at one of your favorite places.
Hey man, look, I watch hockey. I miss. It's good to have some hockey on SportsChat. You know, the league commissioners are complaining about ESPN not talking hockey, not talking baseball, and they're right on the daytime shows that get all the ratings. So they're right. And listen, we used to watch hockey, man. We used to talk hockey. The Rangers, the Canadians, and Herm was
Islanders, baby.
The Islander fan, Mike Box. So I'm all in favor of that. I'm all in favor of that. They're actually trying to get they're trying to build a new arena in up and coming in the northern side of town, and they try to build an arena and bring another hockey team back to Atlanta.
Oh, bring the old Flame. They were the Flames, right? Flames. They went to Calgary.
Yeah, they have a lot of Northerners that have moved here, obviously. So I think they might be able to pull it off in terms of fan support. Plus, the region continues to grow, and they want to do like a mixed use development up there. So the city of Cumming and the county of Forsyth County have already approved their portion of the funding. So all they need now is to get an NHL team to either expand or somebody to move here. I'm all for it.
Awesome. Yeah, so tonight in Columbus at the Horseshoe, you got the Columbus Blue Jackets and the Red Wings. So they're flipping colors tonight, right? Right. Blue Jackets and the Red Wings from Detroit.
Hey man, I love the outdoor hockey, man.
That's a pretty cool.
I think that's so cool. The whole backdrop.
Yeah, they did.
Being a kid that went ice skating in the winter every Saturday up at Swinburne, so outside ice skating is not foreign to us.
They when they did it in Boston a couple of years back, they had Belle Biv DeVoe sing the national anthem. So it was very good. It was good. You got to hear Mike Bivens and Ronnie DeVoe actually sing instead of having to sing background all the time.
We got
Right.
Sean checking in on with
Yeah,
us
they
today.
were called the
First hockey team ever in semi-pro called the Trashers. Yeah, well, the Flames were there too, though, Sean. When you were a little kid, you don't know about that. Probably when you was upstairs sleeping, the Flames was in was in the lamp. But yeah, so yeah, that's interesting. That's interesting, and really just taking advantage of what's going on in these cities when it comes to sports, right? That's why it's amazing. Always been amazing to me with New York, how they handle all those professional sports teams, right? I mean, you got two of each of every national sports, and three for hockey, really, because you got the Jersey Devils as well.
Yeah.
We got three NFL teams. I mean, people claim the Bills are more of a Midwestern team, and I kind of agree with that.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
If
Yeah.
I
I'm saying I'm just saying city wise, you know what I mean?
yeah, if I rooted for any of the New York teams, it would definitely be the Bills.
Buffalo Bill. Well, you know, I was a big Bill. That's my second team actually is Buffalo.
That's correct.
I was a big. Can you say his name on here? Rest in peace, OJ. Oh, but that kid was dynamite, John. He was dynamite.
Yeah, absolutely.
The kids at school, the guys, we used to play street football. They called me Little OJ.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, our father was from Buffalo originally, so I guess we.
Right. From Buffalo, they came from. My grandfather came from Buffalo to Albany, the pastor.
Well, fellas, we done crossed over into March. That means
it's March the 1st.
Two things. Number one,
basketball,
and number two,
on his way. Here we go, baby. Let's go.
We can talk a little baseball. Let me tell you, man.
You already, Ron. I knew it was going to happen when you sent me that clip. I knew it was going to happen.
What's that?
You sent me that clip of Gio, his training in Dominican Republic. And remember, I said as long as he stay healthy, right? And he's going for an MRI today on his shoulder.
Who was this?
Luis Gil.
Oh, is he really, man? See?
Yeah, he got an MRI scheduled today.
Yeah, I was scared of the injuries, man. One thing the Yankees got to do, and they have to get better with their strength and conditioning, man.
Yeah, it don't make no sense.
Yeah, Luis Gil is outstanding. He's young.
Outstanding.
But it's just it's a recurring thing with them and their strength and conditioning. Them and the 49ers are terrible. I don't know who it is. They just did that renovation at George Steinbrenner Field in Tampa, but they need to get a new strength and conditioning program. I think they hired a guy last year, but he needs to go too. And John, just back to your Tigers, man. Yes, I'm excited about baseball. The Tigers got an exciting young team. They added Gleyber Torres to it. So
Gleyber Torres.
Yeah, I saw that. I think we need a big season, another big season again from Scooble. I'm hoping we can pick up another arm in the lineup that will kind of take the pressure off of him.
Yep.
Because you saw in the playoffs last year that, they were relying on him to deliver that elimination game, and they got to him early in Cleveland. So, it was a lot of pressure on him. He delivered. I need big year from Spencer Torkelson this year. You know what I'm saying? I think we have still an extremely young team. I looked at where we projected to finish. They still not, most of the baseball prognosticators think that we were more of a fluke, which, I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. When you are well out of contention at the beginning of August, and you go on one of the most unbelievable runs.
Mm-hmm. Who's their manager?
AJ
Hint, right?
AJ Hint. Mm-hmm.
I think they'll be fine. Hint is a good manager.
Yeah, he is. Especially with young players. I mean, we've got an extremely young team, but if we can get some production out of the middle of that order, and maybe another arm in the lineup, I think we'll be all right. But You know, I just don't. You know how y'all know how I complain that we playing out the string by the end
Yeah,
by
not May.
the
Yeah,
end of May, first
right.
of June. You know what I'm saying? Just keep me interested enough until now. Do I expect another magical playoff run? I would love it. I love playoff baseball in Detroit, man. It's absolutely amazing. Um, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. I like where we are. I like that we're being, that there's really no pressure because again, the prognosticators aren't looking for us to duplicate what we did last year.
Mhm.
So they can really go into this season without the pressure of expectations
Right.
and just kind of sneak up on people like we did last year. So I'm here for it.
Well, the positive thing is that Torres was playing outstanding baseball for the Yankees in the playoffs. He kind of came back to life. At one time he was our number one prospect, and he's still only 27, 28 years old. And he's got talent. I mean, he's got power. He can hit, for average. Like I said, sometimes he gets a little lazy, but maybe, he's out to prove something in his new team. So I'm sure you're going to get probably the best foot forward from Torres, which will be an add to wherever they place him in the lineup. He was hitting hitting leadoff for the Yankees in the playoffs.
Right.
And he played really well. So, so I would say, and Jerry West used to say this about guys that were between the age of 28 and 32, that is primetime sports time. That's when you're in your prime, your physical prime as a man, and then your mental, everything kind of catches
just
up.
before that metabolism starts to slow down.
Yeah, but everything is you've been around the game enough to know how to pace yourself, how to condition yourself.
Right.
You're physically and mentally
professional. Right.
Yeah.
You got you know how this thing works now, what to expect.
Yep. So I think you're going to get the best Gleyber Torres that you're going to find. Plus, he's going to be out to prove the Yankees did him wrong, or they were letting him up. So
come on,
bring that. One last thing I always realize
that chip on the shoulder. That's what I want.
One thing I always realize about a new baseball season is just always a surprise from somebody in your organization, whether it's a young guy or somebody crops up and delivers and plays better than you expect. So that thing you were mentioning, John, about getting somebody to come into the rotation or a surprise guy in the outfield, because you got prospects that are ready to take that jump. You just never know when it's going to come. Yeah, we had it last year with Weaver, so I expect somebody in the Detroit lineup will do the same. Here in Atlanta, the Braves are kind of coming back from there. They had a really injury-riddled season. So that it's all about the Braves staying healthy. They have the pieces, the management, all that kind of stuff in support, but they got to keep Acuna healthy. They got to get Riley back at third. They got Chris Sale came back and won the Cy Young.
Yeah, exactly.
Now they lost Freeze, but they'll be able to replace him because they have a very deep farm system. So for the Braves, it's really about them just staying healthy, developing some more young talent, maybe making a trade or two during the season, and they should be right back there too. Now, my Yanks are, we're close. Whether we can get to production, make up the production that you lose with Soto, with the guys they brought in with Goldsmith and Bellinger. Yeah, they should be able to do that. Judge will be Judge. The Yanks got to stay healthy though too, because they've been, falling.
Got to stay healthy. I think he was outstanding in the playoffs, but it's time to let Stan go, man.
Well, I think at this point in his career, they have to do what they do, which is, let him just try to figure out a way to keep him healthy enough to play in the playoffs.
To get to the playoffs.
He's not a guy.
Yes, y'all Yankee fans, how much pressure is on Judge?
Well, he's going to have to find a way to hit now.
Judge pressure is now. He's got to prove himself in the postseason.
That's what I mean.
So the Yankees got to get to the postseason.
He's
and the thing is though,
that postseason from Judge that was unacceptable.
Well, and the thing is though, really, he just kind of had a bad series because remember he hit the home run against Cleveland.
Yeah.
So I mean, he did produce,
but that world series,
he just wasn't overworldly crazy. I can't.
That wasn't good enough. That World Series, that production from here wasn't good enough, man. That was. You.
Well, here's the thing: he went from hero to GOAT all in the same game, right? Because he hit the home run in the first inning, got him started.
Yeah.
Then he had the defensive foo-poo, but that was they just that fifth inning looked like Little League.
Mm-hmm.
It looked like Orchard Tavern in the 2009 National Little League Championship.
Shout out to the Orchard Tavern because we won the men's softball league championship in '94. I had the game winning hit. I got a hit off of Rusty Gallagher. You remember Mike Gallagher? The Gallagher.
Yeah, the Gallagher.
Yeah, I got a hit off Rusty Gallagher to win that in '94. Mom still got the picture at her house somewhere. We won the men's league. Shout out
now what's name doesn't even exist anymore.
Yeah, shout out to the Duke boys, man. They know who they are. They was on the softball squad for champs of the Thirsties men's league.
Yeah, the Orchard Tavern is no longer existing.
Yeah, right. Single to right center field off Rusty Gallagher, baby. I'll never forget it.
Yeah, so Judge, but being who you are when you're the big stud on the Yankees, your career exists on what you do in that postseason.
That's correct. That's
makes you break it.
Judge is in that window right now, man. He's gotta get it done.
Got to get it done.
Yeah, I'm looking on some forums. They got the Orioles. Most people are picking the Orioles to finish.
Another good young team
in the AL East, followed by the Yankees.
Now, what the Orioles have to be concerned with, though, is getting down the consistency from all their young guns, the Hendersons and the other fella. And that's the thing with baseball, man. Baseball. Ooh, you can be great one year and then just stink up the place.
Drop off completely. Yeah.
Matter of fact, the guy on Detroit from Chicago, shortstop, what's the name?
Baez.
Got that big contract, ain't done nothing since.
Yeah. He hit like one. What was his average last year?
Last year was the average 2-something, 195. He was way down there.
184.
Wow.
Well, the one thing I like to say
about he's still starting for them at short or third. Where they playing?
He's the shortstop.
Shortstop.
Well, here's the thing, though. The one thing I say about baseball, and I try to tell my son this, is that baseball is truly a metaphor for life. And so, the good thing about baseball is the sun comes up tomorrow, and you can get right back at it. It's not like football where you got to wait 7 days.
Yeah.
Look, you go 0-3.
Literally comes up tomorrow. It's literally the next day.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because that's another thing going back to the Lakers is that's been impressive to me is they've won 2 hard back-to-back things, right?
Yeah.
Actually, they lost to the Hornets coming out of All-Star Weekend, but then they went to Portland where they always lose, even when they were good, right? And they beat Portland on a back-to-back, so they beat Portland, and then they went from Portland to Denver, right? Won there, so I'm like, this is pretty impressive.
Yeah, I was thinking that last night as
now you know what? What's the name got injured last night, which is not good. Or his calf is bothering him. Austin Reeves.
Reeves, yeah.
And then Hachimura did something to his hip the other day. He like twisted it. So I'm like, and those are 2. Now the guys on the Lakers, everybody hands have to be ready because the ball's gonna find you.
Mm-hmm.
Between Luka and LeBron, the ball is gonna find you when you're not expecting it. You got to be ready.
Well, going back to what John's point about the fact that we are entering March, I guess, which is the second greatest sports month of the year. Right? I still say October is the best sports month of the year because
we got everything happening.
But March probably ranks up there as number 2. And by the way, also starting in March would be the play of the Michigan Panthers in the UFL.
Listen, I'm hoping. Now I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I'm hoping that it can curb some of my football appetite this year. Just to get me, especially if the Tigers get off to a slow start. So much of my spring depends on the performance of the Detroit Tigers. That's like one of the, because typically the Pistons have been out. They've been an afterthought in this town. Although we might be looking at a playoff win or two from them this year, but typically, if I'm good, if I'm watching decent baseball, then I'm okay. I don't need spring football. I don't need, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Man, if we can't get if it starts slow again, I'm like, oh my God. XFL, USFL, somebody come save me from this, because I need something to watch while my baseball team flounders at the bottom of the standings yet again for yet another spring. So we'll see.
Now, Ronald, we had a discussion last week. We're going to ask you your point of, give us your insight on what you think a Hall of Famer should be. What should be the criteria of getting into a Hall of Fame?
Okay, good. I'm glad you asked that, because I've been thinking about that quite a bit. Just because of my age, and I'm seeing guys that I was able to watch their whole career. When I was younger, I had to hear about people, and then they ultimately went in. I didn't really get a chance to see them play. But now I'm getting to the age now where I see guys come in. I was watching guys from high school all the way through, like the Alonzo Mournings and the Dwayne Wades and people like that, so I can see it. I think just because of these guys are kind of my contemporaries in my generation, I'm probably a little bit tougher on their eligibility for the Hall of Famer, because Hall of Famers always appear to be kind of a mythical creature, right? To me, you know what I mean? So when I seen a guy play, and I know he was injury prone or was lazy at times, or didn't really kind of live up to the mythical unicorn status that Hall of Famers had for me, it just becomes difficult for me to say, yeah, this guy's a Hall of Fame. You understand what I'm saying? Like the Hall of Fame guy is like a Bonds or a Mickey Mantle or somebody like that, a Willie Mays, where you knew they was just great. You may not have seen them, but it was such a household name that your daddy said, man, you should have saw this guy play.
Right.
And so some of these dudes that be getting in the Hall of Fame, I'd be like, And Deion Sanders said it best. He goes, man, some of these dudes getting in the Hall of Fame, I need to have my own wing. They need to give me a red jacket, right? So I think it's being cheapened a little bit. It's like you guys are clergy. It's like some guys are bishops, but you'd be like, okay. Yeah, but he ain't a Bishop Hancock.
I think that might even be worse on that end, but that's a whole discussion for another day.
So if that makes sense.
Well, and I like the word that you used, because that kind of puts it in perspective there, Johnny. Use the word mythical, right? And so again, like you're saying, when you're coming up as a kid, you hear these names, and it's people that you didn't really see play, right? I never forget when the Mets got Willie Mays, like 19, showing my age now. It was like 1974, 75-ish, right? He comes to the Mets. I mean, he's really on his last leg. I mean, literally. Bad knees and everything, right? And the Mets had a good team. They went to the World Series against the Oakland A's, right? When the Oakland had all the fellas, right? I mean, and Willie Mays wasn't even a shell of his own self, right? But I'm literally watching the game with my dad, right? Because of course, they're big Willie Mays people, right? And so it's like you hear this name, but you didn't see at the point he couldn't live up to the accolades because he's older, right? Mm-hmm. But then when he goes into the Hall of Fame, you understand why, because you heard the history of it. And so, like Ron said too, when guys that are your age and you watch them, because I think it should be personally, I still feel it should be kind of mythical. In your entry, you should have, because you're immortalizing these guys forever. So everybody should not just be getting in. That's just how I feel about it.
Well, let me ask Ron, because we had this discussion last week. Can you rank your Hall of Fame? You know, you got basketball, football, baseball, hockey. Rank them for me in terms of. I mean, you can use whatever criteria you want. I used like toughest to get in, easiest to get in, or you know.
I think getting in the Hockey Hall of Fame should be very difficult. Number one, there really should be only a couple guys in there, right? Stevie Eiserman, maybe Gordie Howe,
Gretzky,
the Gretzkys of the world, Mark Messier. Like you got to be like legit.
Mario Lemieux.
Yeah.
A Sidney Crosby.
Esposito.
Should get in there, right? Patrick Roy, guys like that.
Wow. Dominic Haas,
right? That's that level. So I'm like, my expectation is you've won chips or you've been really good. Getting the Hockey Hall of Fame should not be easy, right? A guy like Eric Lindros shouldn't get in. He was. You don't think
Lindros did enough to get in?
No, just because of the expectation that was placed on him.
He had the
Lindros was the LeBron of hockey.
Expectation.
Yeah, and he didn't do as much as LeBron had.
And then he finally got to the Stanley Cup Finals and he got swept by the Red Wings.
Yeah, and he was good, right? But maybe he was entering at an age or at a time in America or a time in American sports where in Canadian sports, North American sports, where the media was putting that expectation on a young guy coming up. But maybe it's a little bit unfair to say that. I guess he has his place.
There was a lot of hype around him. I don't think.
But look at this. Okay, that's a great example, right? Because the two guys in our generation who in the hockey side that were put on such a high cloud, right? Sidney Crosby, Ed Lindros, right? I mean, they're coming. These guys are going to be the next great one, right? Crosby has stood the test time, still good actually, right? Mm-hmm. But Lindros was like a LeBron, supposed to be big, fast,
huge guy.
He's gonna change the hockey world, whereas he didn't live up to the hype as much as LeBron has.
Yeah.
No, you're right. And I think the guy, honestly, even with Sidney Crosby, and the failure of Lindros to live up to the hype, the guy that's doing it for me is that guy in Washington, Alex Ovechkin.
Yeah.
I mean, still going strong.
He's the longevity. I think he's 11 goals away of tying Gretzky.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
You in that class, you doing something.
And in modern times, he's gotten his team to the Stanley Cup.
And he won the cup.
Yeah. So you can't
argue. Name is on the cup.
I was watching, and I was like, I like what they're doing in Washington during the finals. They had the crowd hype, they had the lights, they had the whole thing, right? And so credit to him. Now that's a guy who gets it because he's changed the culture. He's got a winning record. He's got he's putting up the numbers, like all that kind of stuff. So yeah. So for football though, I think it's getting it's a lot of guys who get in who I'll be like, I'm questionable. Some of these guys, they should get in. I mean, maybe. You know what I mean? Like I'm like, okay. For example, Curtis Martin. Curtis Martin was an excellent player, right, for the Jets. Great, outstanding running back.
Yeah, but what did he do Hall of Fame worthy?
But Hall of Fame is he a Walter Payton? Is he a O.J. Simpson? Is he a Emmitt Smith? No, he was good. Don't get me wrong, right? But they're getting to the point where I'm kind of like, it was good, but a Hall of Famer, like somebody that I'm gonna take my son through the Hall of Fame, or look my grandson and be like, yo, this guy right here, right? No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that about Barry Sanders. I'm saying that about a Billy Sims or somebody like that, right? Billy Sims was, another one bites the dust, and guys was running. They could, he was gone. Curtis Martin was good, right? But I don't know, right? I don't know.
I think this was my take last week, and this is just for me, that Hall of Fame. Because there's a lot of talented guys. Hall of Fame should be more about the resume than the actual talent, which to me is why I had the NBA as the easiest I had the Major League Baseball as the most difficult.
Mm-hmm.
And then hockey and football sort of fall in between. I mean, baseball sometimes can be punitive with their Hall of Fame.
Oh man.
I mean, you talking, okay, he's not a fifth ballot, he's a sixth, you know what I'm saying? Just crazy. It can, but then you have, if you go to the other end of the extreme, you have the NBA, where guys like Tracy McGrady, who I think is a Hall of Fame talent.
Yep.
But not a Hall of
extremely
Famer.
light on the resume. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I agree.
I don't think he has a resume that justifies him. Chris Webber, Grant Hill. You know, honestly, what did Grant Hill really? And I love Grant Hill. Dude was that dude when he was here in Detroit. Mm-hmm. But what did he actually do to? Right. You might as well
over the length of the career.
Over the length of his career.
Yeah, no, I agree.
He never accomplished anything.
And shout out to Grant. I ain't trying to. I'm just saying guys that they're legendary. They have legendary moments in basketball, right? That Duke team, his run to the NCAA, and all the lore that came with Grant Hill and the thing, like all of that. That's all. To me, that's a story that should be told in the Hall of Fame, but doesn't necessarily mean you get a bust at the Hall.
Get a bust, correct?
You understand what I'm saying? There's mythical basketball stories,
and I'm okay if you don't have a lot of people in there. That's how it should be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
John May mentioned last week, Ronnie was saying how it should be Mount Rushmore-ish, right?
Yeah. Mythical.
It's okay.
Literally the best of the best.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think we need to differentiate between, it's like there's a difference between all-star and superstar. Right. There are a lot of all-stars. Right.
Correct.
A lot of all-stars. Not a whole lot of superstars.
Yeah.
You ever go to a car dealership and you go there and they're selling Ford F-150 trucks. And there's a blue one, a red one, a black one, a green one, a white one, and they're all the same. And you'd be like, bro, how do I even choose which one? Right? And you just be like, they're all kind of vanilla. You know what I mean? You don't want the Hall of Fame to look like a car dealer.
You don't want that. You don't want that.
And at the car dealer, remember, not every car is showroom car.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
And it's got to be that for me. And as much as I love Tracy McGrady's game, and I'll be honest with you, I think Allen Iverson is borderline. I ain't talking about his talent, but if you look at his resume, think about it. After that one Cinderella run, you know, he had a league MVP, great. Led the league in scoring a couple of times. But after that one Cinderella run to the NBA Finals with the Philadelphia 76ers, he never made it past the second round of the playoffs for the remainder of his career.
Right. I understand.
Not Hall of Fame worthy to me. Joe Dumars, Chauncey Billups. Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I understand that point, John. That's what I mean by like there's guys with storied careers, and those stories should be told. But the Mount Rushmore
had a bust.
But the Mount Rushmore stories should be or something that should be kind of held in higher esteem and more difficult to climb and reach the summit.
Yeah, I agree.
You either gotta be
and I'm not dissing Dumars and AI and all those guys because those guys were outstanding, great players, storied careers, like and they're mythical in their own right. But like when you're talking Hall of Fame, I'm talking about the Muhammad Ali's of the world,
the cream of the crop.
Listen,
not the
I'm a bad boy till I die. I am a bad boy until I'm 6 feet under. I love Joe Dumars. He's not a Hall of Fame. I don't think he's a Hall of Fame player.
Right. We want Muhammad, not Riddick Bowe.
Exactly. And that's what kind of did it for me. And now, like I say, I do think baseball goes a little extreme the other way, where it's like, Jesus, what does a guy have to do to get in?
And here's what got me with the baseball, because I mean, he was good, right? And like I said, they're so stringent on some, right? But you let Scott Rowland in.
Right? Listen, man, I've said it and I've said it again. I'll say it.
If you don't follow baseball, if I go to Little League and say, hey guys, you guys ever heard of Scott Rowland? They get look at me like, huh?
Listen, as great a player as Mike Schmidt was, right? They questioned whether or not he should
be in there.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
as great a player as he was, and all that. They said, well, we don't really know. Here's the thing I say about baseball. Okay, I like that it's an exclusive club. The problem with baseball is that there's a lot of old writers who've been around forever, and those guys need to be retired, to be honest. And so they hold all those old biases and stuff that they had before, which some of them are valid, right? But then there's other guys who, they just make it difficult for the sake of being difficult.
Yeah, I think they have this punitive feel, like where you're not a first ballot, so we'll it's almost like a class system to baseball's approach.
It's segregating of your Hall of Fame.
Yeah, and it's like tiers to it. And it's
right. And so if that's the case, then open up another building, right? This the first ballot building.
Do like a first ballot. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, am I Hall of Famer worthy or am I not?
Hey man, listen, I don't care what they say. Pete Rose should be in the Hall of Fame. I don't care if he was betting.
We said the same thing.
That's all I'm saying.
Last week.
I've said it a million times. I don't care if he was calling the bookie from the dugout phone. My man had 4,200 hits. Cal Ripken didn't miss a game for 19 years, and he only ended up with 31. And it wasn't like he was just a bus rider, right? Cal Ripken was a very productive player. He still only had 31 hit, 3,100, and he played every day for 19 years.
He's in the Hall because of the streak. Let's just be that streak.
Yeah, 3,100 hits is all he had, man. G had 3,300.
Pete Rose. And the thing is, he didn't even bet on games that I could see if he bet on games that he himself was involved in. And now, but look at what you got now. You got FanDuel.
Well, yeah, you
know what I'm saying?
It's hypocritical.
Listen,
it's the hypocrisy, right? I mean, before the game comes on, I said you can take the under over. Will the Tigers score 5 and the Yankees score 8 runs? Which one?
Yeah. Listen.
It's like I got to do this before I've been watching my game, but then people are out of the Hall of Fame because of it's crazy.
Let me point out the hypocrisy of it in the historical perspective that I have being a New Yorker. All right. Cooperstown is about an hour and a half or so west of Albany, right?
Yeah.
2 hours away from Saratoga. They hold the Hall of Fame introduction in the summertime. Those same baseball writers that penalized Pete Rose, they would take their daily jaunt from Cooperstown up to Saratoga.
Bet on horses.
But deny Pete. It's easy. If gambling is wrong, it's wrong. If his betting is wrong, right? What y'all say, sin is sin. So let's not try to justify it on one side while they say Saratoga is a summer place to be, but we're gonna penalize Pete for being out in Cooperstown because they say he bet on baseball.
It's an embarrassment to the sport, if you ask me.
Yeah, the hypocrisy is
literally the most decorated player who wasn't part of the steroid era, and then he was juiced up, but was just one. It literally. I mean, I go back and forth between him and Ricky Henderson as two of the most decorated all-around baseball players. I caught the tail end of Pete Rose's career. Mm-hmm. But to have him not in the Hall of Fame because of the reasons that they stated is borderline criminal. I mean, and they continue to use his likeness. They continue to make money off of him. You know what I'm saying?
He's in the Hall of Fame.
He's in there. He just don't have a bus, right? He just don't have the bus, but he's in there. You can't deny what he did. You just keeping him from getting a bus, but you're not keeping him all his other stuff out.
Yeah, yeah.
You got his bat. You got his shoe, right? You got the you got the uniform that he bet in.
If I'm
that
not
he get
mistaken,
on, that he was wearing, all that craziness, right?
I haven't been out to Cooperstown in quite some time. I think I was out there in, I don't know, maybe 2005, 6, maybe the last time. If I'm not mistaken, like 3 doors down from the Hall of Fame is like a Pete Rose Museum.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
It's true though. So I'm like, bro, I mean, what's the point? We all know when I was up there for the Hall of Fame weekend that one time, Pete was signing. You know what I mean? He was signing.
Yeah,
So I'm like, bro, stop playing with him. Put the man in there. Let him rest in peace. Put the man in the Hall of Fame and let's stop it.
Yeah. Yeah, it would be cool for his family to see that. I wish they could have did it while he was alive.
Again, you tell the story, right?
Yeah, tell the story. Stop playing.
So yeah, so my thing is baseball's the hardest. I'll go hockey next, football, and then basketball to me is the easiest.
You know, the basketball, they encompass all of basketball. So
yeah.
Right. And my Pete Rose commentary is brought to you by FanDuel.
Place your bets. Place your bets.
Or ESPN bet, right?
That's what I'm saying. Stop it.
I mean, we got a whole baseball team in Las Vegas. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, professional sports in Las Vegas, period.
It's the hypocrisy for me, man. It's the hypocrisy for me. It's disingenuous. It's bad faith, and it's like people ain't been betting on sports from the beginning of time. The government just realized that they could make money on it, and they said, "Well, why don't we just start getting some tax dollars?"
Well, that's the part. That's the part to me. Y'all use his likeness. Y'all use his accomplishments, but you won't allow him to be in the Hall of Fame. That's. I mean, but that's America. America is one big gigantic contradiction. Don't get me started on that.
We don't want y'all running Keno games or drinking alcohol, but it's okay to run. When the government gets involved, and we use the money to fund the school system. That's all I'm saying, man.
I mean, look, and we even delved into last week about performance enhancing drugs. I mean, I'm like, okay, you say performance enhancing drugs should be illegal, ban, blah, 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 blah. My thing is, what intrinsically is wrong with attempting to enhance your performance? I mean, don't we take vitamins because we want to enhance our performance? You know what I'm saying? What is that? What makes it illegal? Because you can take all the steroids you want. That don't necessarily help your hand-eye coordination. Where you know what I'm saying?
You still got to put bat on ball.
You still got to put the bat on the ball
at a high average.
Dave Kingman was striking out 150 times to 200 times a year, whether he was on steroids or not.
That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying. So may give you a little more power.
Well, and even the great Hank Aaron was saying about they take amphetamines, right? He go, yeah, because he said it was a stimulant, right? He said better. He said coffee wasn't working.
What's wrong with that? What's wrong with saying, hey, I want to use this product to help me get better?
Yeah, I mean,
we do that. Again.
How many people on your job you know that say, don't talk to me yet? I haven't had my morning coffee, right?
Hey man, I'm a technology guy. I won't lie to you. I use Microsoft Copilot to clean up my emails before I hey, pop this in Copilot right quick. Boop boop. Let my message be clear and concise.
Chat GPT. I got on this iPhone, they got this Apple Intelligence where it'll read your notes or your email or whatever you type out and give you better ways to say what you're saying. You know what I'm saying?
I use Microsoft Teams. I push record for my meetings, and it transcribes all the notes, puts everything in order.
Yeah, I just saw that the other day.
It's just an enhancement in making my job simpler. So hey, I'm not saying that I'm not equating it to drugs. I'm just saying
I'm gonna need that self-assessment of the 5 things you did this week at work.
Yeah, I would have put that together from when Microsoft Teams and sent it to Elon. That's all I'm saying.
That's hilarious. Well, to venture into that, it's hilarious to me, because every year there was a point in the government system where, for your evaluation, you had to submit. Before you got your evaluation, you had to submit your own self-assessment to your supervisor as part of your evaluation.
Yo, it's I do the same. I work for a French private company.
Yeah.
You know, 300,000 employees globally, 150 countries that we're in. And I get to do my own self-assessment before I meet with my boss every quarter. I'm supposed to update it and put things in there, and then we go through. So by the end of the year,
right, and then
I'm not surprised by anything that comes out of my review.
Yeah, and we had to indicate points of where we think we could be stronger, and how we would better contribute to the overall success of our service. It's crazy.
Don't get me started.
Listen,
man, I'm trying to decompress. I'm trying to decompress from the last 24 hours of this news cycle and all the crazy that's going on. So I'm coming into this meeting, this sports chat today as a sports fan. I needed something else to think about other than the disrespect of a war-torn president who was invaded by a sworn enemy of the United States, and we've suddenly now turned our attention to, or turned ourselves into a enemy of the U.S. sympathizer. And we are siding, and we're basically letting all the dictators around the world know that, okay, it's okay if you go ahead and invade democratically elected countries. We don't care about our allies. So, have at it, because that's kind of where we're at.
And so
disgusting. They treated the man with no respect. They treated him with little dignity and no empathy. And every American should be ashamed of the lack of diplomacy that was shown. And I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. I mean, there was no class in that. There was no dignity in that.
But it's Donald Trump.
That action has no party similar. That's just a crazy individual.
They treated him like he was the aggressor, like he invaded Russia.
Yeah, and here's the thing. This is a war-torn country. I have professional colleagues that are in the Ukraine. We do business in Ukraine, right? And I have people that I know that had to vacate Eastern Ukraine, and they moved to Poland to get away from all the tyranny that they're experiencing. So I know for a fact that all that hyperbole that he's spewing about, it was their fault, and they started all wrong, and it's disgusting, to be quite honest. And
it's their fault that Russia invaded their country? What?
Let's stop. So all I'm saying is that, like, let's not be gaslit by all the crap that's coming out now. We know exactly what this is, right? So he empowered the guy. He coddled him. You remember his first impeachment was due to the fact that he withheld weapons from Ukraine, so that what's his name? So he could get some dirt on Joe Biden, right? Yep. And he's still mad about it. And the fact that J.D. Vance brought that up yesterday to say, hey, you went to Pennsylvania and you supported our political.
It's just petty.
It's just petty. It's ridiculous. No class, low class,
zero class. But what do you? And what's more alarming to me? I'll be honest with you. I expect Trump to be Trump, but the fact that somebody can look at him and say, yeah. It says more about who we are as a nation than it does about it. He's their Frankenstein monster. He's their creation. This is what this country is.
Not holding accountable for nothing.
Yeah, I used to get so sick of tired when stuff go down in this country, be it a mass shooting and all the politicians running to the TV talking about, well, this is not who we are. Yes, it is. Mm-hmm. This is exactly who we are as a nation. Donald Trump represents the United States of America. He does. Yeah.
I mean, look, the country voted, and the country is going to get what it deserves.
Yeah.
Okay, this is what they wanted. Now, here's the thing. It speaks, a lot of this, what's happening now, speaks to the power of the media and what people consume. Because it was clear that the message of Project 2025 and all the tenets that were in it, and
it was out there.
It was out there, and depending on the news that you were listening to and the information you were taking in, you either chose to ignore it and were in denial about it, and now here you go. So now you have all of these people that are Trump supporters that are outraged by what they're seeing. Oh my God, I can't believe it. And they're going to these town halls, blowing up their Congress people. I just watched one from Tennessee today. Right, bright red Tennessee. And people are talking about how, oh my God, I can't believe.
Oh yeah, she. The women,
what are you going to do about Obamacare? I'm a cancer survivor. I'm on Obamacare. What's your position on the Affordable Care Act? Are you going to vote? And people are, and their congresswoman is like, what? And she never would answer the question because they know that they're all against it, right? But now that these people are being impacted by it, right? These same people that are getting
right,
Medicaid,
some of their jobs
they didn't think. When it was other people that they was being demonized.
It's okay if you step on the other people's toes, right. But now you stepping on mine.
Yeah, but now you stepping on mine. All these poor people in West Virginia and stuff that are on Medicaid and their state's going to be losing the funding, right?
One of the most famous comments, and it got him in trouble with his own, was when Malcolm X said about the rooster coming home to roost.
Yeah, chicken. Yeah.
Chicken coming home to roost. Yeah, and so that's the case of the chicken coming home to roost. Right?
Well, here's all of this. If this is the thing, we got congressional midterm elections in 2026. Man, listen, this ought to this ought to look like a presidential election in terms of turnout, because this guy. It's one thing to do and say stuff but now what he's doing, especially with this Elon, is having real world consequences. For people. And the people that voted for him are having problems and issues. So we gotta take back Congress and gotta block everything that this man tries to do.
I will share with y'all the thing that I watched this morning from Tennessee. With their Congress people, and watch it from beginning to end. It's about 15 minutes long, where they removed a young lady for fact checking her congresswoman about her position on certain things.
And told her to hush or something, right?
Yeah. They told her to hush, and then the police escorted her out because she fact checked the lady. And my whole thing is that those folks don't have the right to be surprised now, though. They don't have the right to be surprised because all of this was out there for public consumption.
It's out there for your consumption.
Yeah, and they chose to ignore it, right? For whatever reason. They couldn't vote for Kamala Harris. Not that she didn't say all these things were going to happen. They couldn't get past whatever biases and whatever entitlements they believe that they have as American citizens, and they ignored it. So no, they can't cry about it now. You're only crying because your uncle, your brother, your cousin, your daddy lost their job. You can't. It was all, they said it was going to happen, right?
Yeah, they wouldn't care if I lost mine.
I'm going to lose my Social Security. Well, you should have thought about that. When they were trying to tell you that your Social Security was in jeopardy.
Play stupid games, win stupid
prizes. You messed around, touched the beehive, played with it. Now you crying because you got stung.
You didn't listen to Michelle Obama's speech, people. She told.
What your mama used to tell you? Don't touch the stove, stupid. It's hot. And if you get burned, it's your fault.
You had to go check. You had to go test it.
Yeah, you bumped your head because you was running. I told you to stop running. You're gonna bump your head.
Can't feel sorry for you.
But they were perfectly content with other. You can see these letters. I got tweets. No, Mr. President, I didn't think it was gonna affect me. You know what I'm saying?
It was okay. It was okay when it was
other people.
It was okay when it was Juan Diaz. Y'all was trying to deport, or he was gonna get this, that, and the other thing. Right. The only time Hispanic people take a lot of crap in America. The only time people are accepting of Hispanics is when the guy can hit 320 and 45 home runs.
Yep.
They're okay. They're okay when he got that talent.
Yep.
But it ain't okay when the guy comes to cut your grass every day and clean up your mess or rebuild your house or whatever it is. Don't get me started on this, man, because y'all know how I am. I'll have to go there.
Well, enjoy your college basketball games today, everybody. They got a useless game on tonight. Warriors against the Sixers. Joel, I'm gonna discuss MB, but that's a whole show by itself. But you guys, we enjoyed. Ron, nice having you back on today. John and I will be live and in color together next week. John will be here.
I'll be in the city
in Albany, so that's pretty exciting. So Ron, make sure you tune in. Come on next Saturday.
All right, man. I'm back.
We're gonna call you in the morning.
All right, no problem. I will join.
All right, guys. Have a great rest of your day. We love you here on Sports Chat. Everybody enjoy your weekend.
Keep your head up, everybody. Keep your head up.